Welcome. Welcome, everybody. It is Wednesday, March 16th, 2022. Welcome to the iBUG Android Insight Call. This is where we talk about everything that deals with the Android platform. So, whether it's your smartphone, your Pixel, your Samsung, your Alexa device, your Google device, your Chrome tablet. We talk about anything and every device that runs on the Android platform. So I want to say welcome. I'm going to do a little housekeeping real quick. So just remember, this is being recorded. So we ask that please stay muted until you have to ask a question if you have a lot of background noise. Okay, so that way the recording will be at the highest of quality for you to come back and listen to. Also, if you have a question, just remember we do not raise our hands. We just wait for a little lull, say your name, and wait till you are acknowledged by one of the hosts, whether it be myself, Ava, or my co host, Hershey. That's a little bit with the housekeeping. If you're on the cell, if you are calling in on the phone, just remember it's *6 to mute and unmute. If you're on a PC, it's uh, Alt A. If you're on a Mac, it's Command Shift A. Okay. That's about it on the housekeeping. I'm going to turn it over to Sandhya for the iBug News. And we have a phone. All right, so I'm going to turn it over to Sandhya to talk about what's going on this month with iBug.
All right, thank you, Ava. So yes, another busy time with at iBug. In addition to Android, if you are also use any kind of Apple products, definitely check out our website ibugtoday.org, ibugtoday.org. And if you need help with any of your other iOS devices, there are plenty of opportunities there. We also have several social opportunities. Tomorrow night will be the Trekkie Talk. So everything will be held on the Zoom conference line unless specified otherwise. And that will be discussing Star Trek The Next Generation, Season 4, Episodes 8 and 9. So what we do is we listen to them ahead of time, and then we come and discuss them together. So if you're a Trekkie or a Trekkie wannabe, please come and check it out tomorrow night. And all times mentioned are central. So then on Friday, we have iBug Night at the Virtual Movies. And this week, kind of in honor of March Madness, I guess you could say, we're going to be watching a movie called Coach Carter, starring Samuel L. Jackson. So that'll be fun. So that'll be 8 p.m. Central, 7:30 for the social time. And then following the movie, we'll have some discussion and some trivia. And let's see what else. We are going to be doing a drawing also because we are a 501c3 corporation and we're doing a fundraiser right now for $10. You have a chance to win a $500 Apple gift card to the Apple Store. And if you want to increase your chances, you can buy 6 tickets for $50. And the winner will be announced at our anniversary, our 11th anniversary in May. So those are some of our social media real quick. It's ibugtoday.org is our website. Then we have facebook.com/group/ibugtoday. We have Twitter at ibugtoday. Then we have the Android you can subscribe to be on a mailing list so that you get all internet announcements about Android. So with that, Ava, I will hand it back to you.
All right. Oops. All right. Thank you, Sandhya. And as Sandhya said, if you go to ibugtoday.org or ibugtoday.com, you can actually go there, go to the Android Insight tab, and you can always go back and listen to any of the previous recordings as well. I want to acknowledge the ACB community, ACBT, yeah, ACB community for co-hosting the call with us. So I want to thank them. And Hershey, are you there? Okay. Well, my name is Ava. I am one of the facilitators, and Hershey is
Yes.
my. There you go. And
Good evening,
I'll-
everybody. My name is Hershi. I am from Central Florida, and I want to welcome everybody to tonight's Android Insight call. And
Okay,
I
Hershey,
look
you're
forward
really low,
to all
so
the
it's hard to
questions
hear you.
tonight. Oh, sorry
Louder, louder,
about that. Okay, we'll get louder then. Here we go.
more. All right. Okay, we can keep going until we can get Hershey there.
okay. Well, I want to welcome everybody, and I hear we have a few new people on the line, so we want to do a quick roundabout. Just tell us your name, where you're calling from, how did you hear about the Android Insight, the iBUG Android Insight call, and what device do you have, and then if this is your first time on the call. I know it's a lot, so let's just throw it out there.
I'm Judy Martin. I have an Android phone and heard about this from a friend.
Welcome, Judy.
I'm Michelle Scott. I'm calling from Charleston, South Carolina. I have a Samsung Galaxy A32, and I heard about this through the mailing email listing.
Well, welcome, Melissa.
Michelle.
Her name is Michelle.
Oh,
Okay.
Michelle.
Okay.
I'm
All right.
sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, next.
Dale calling from Rochester. Excuse me. I have a Google Pixel 6.
Welcome, Dale. Oops.
I'm Charles Sennett. I'm from Chicago. I have a Note 8 Samsung, and I heard about it from a friend.
Oh,
This is my first
welcome.
time. Thank you.
Okay. Next.
Gary Hogan. And I have no Android device, but be good to me because I have my Rage bug spray.
Okay. Well, welcome. Next.
This is Sharif from Virginia. I don't have any Android devices, but I do have Amazon devices.
Okay, welcome, Sherry. Is it me? Do you hear a background noise, Sandia?
Yeah, I muted everybody to get. I think there's somebody's got two devices or something. So we've cleared that up. So you have to back to unmute again, Ava. I've muted everybody.
Thank you, Sandia. All right, so let's continue with the introductions.
This is Foster from Houston, Texas. And one Android device that I have is the OnePlus 8 5G phone.
Okay. Well, welcome, Foster.
Hi, this is Cynthia. I have two older Androids. I have Android S8 Plus and a 9, but I also have a Apple iPad 8th generation, and I also have my Alexa device.
All right, welcome, Cynthia. Next, anybody else would like to introduce themselves?
Okay, this is Sandhya in Houston, and I have a Pixel something in my drawer, and I have several Alexa devices and a Ring device that I have a question about later on. So thank you.
Okay. All right, Sandhya. Okay, so is there anyone else that would like to introduce themselves? Okay, so I did hear Kevin come on. Kevin, are you still going to do the demonstration for us this month, or are we going to move that to next month?
Okay.
Oh,
I'm prepared either way. I was in the kitchen, so, but so, but yeah, it's gonna be very short.
yeah,
Um,
just a
but
short one.
yeah,
Okay, so let's start off with our demonstration first, since we know it's a short one. Okay, Kevin?
I wasn't prepared for that.
Okay, well,
Here, why
we
don't
can
we?
do you at 8.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why
we
don't we
can
go
do
on
you
and
at
ask
8.
questions?
Okay,
Yeah.
so
there we go.
we're gonna open the floor for questions. So if anybody has a question, a comment, a concern. No questions?
Is there this is Judy,
Yes,
is there
Judy.
a program where you can just start learning about how to use the voice on Android and all of the features?
Okay, Judy. Judy has a question out there. Anybody from the floor would like to answer, or?
This is Sandhya.
Yes, Sandhya.
Okay, so I don't know if you mean like a formal training program with iBUG. Currently, we do not offer any. I mean, we have mentoring program on the iOS side, but currently we do not have training on the Android. But I'm sure there are lots of other resources, and there are lots of people on here that can share those with you.
All right, thank you, Sandhya. Anybody
This is
else?
Shri.
Yes, Shuri.
So, maybe about a week or 2 weeks ago, the Blind Life did an intro to TalkBack on the new version that you might want to check on YouTube. But I guess you would need to know how to get to YouTube. Would that be the next question?
I can get there.
Okay, yeah, just do a search for Blind Life, and he just did one for TalkBack.
Hey,
Dale?
this is Hershey.
Yes, Hershey. You
Hey,
are still a little low.
I'm just a little low. All right, I'll get back to you then on that.
Not that. Darn.
I'm still here.
Okay, go ahead.
Well,
you are a little
if you could,
louder. Yeah, there
okay,
you go.
if I'm good right there.
Yes, you are.
The way to we had Warren here a couple months back, and that's Blind Android Users Group, and they have quite a selection of beginning to end of how Android kind of transponds. So, you know, if you wanted a shopping app or you wanted a OCR app, you could go through their videos and playlists to recall those different apps in specific. I know Ava had a couple choices. I think was it Audible Vision? I think was it Ava that you heard about through either the Blind Life channel, but there are a couple Android related channels in that sense. So blind Android users, they have a website, YouTube channels, and stuff like that. So that's one great resource to give it a shot.
Thank you. That's enough to get started.
All right. All right. Anybody else have a question?
Dale?
Yes, Dale.
I've noticed on my Pixel 6 on the home screen that in places where I don't have my icons, TalkBack will say home, and I haven't played with the settings enough, but how do I get rid of the home, basically the blank space on the home screen? I haven't had this happen with previous Android phones that I've had.
Kevin, that is a function of the Pixel launcher on the Pixel 6. It seems to only be doing that on the Pixel 6. There's no way to change that in the settings, but I don't know if you use Be My Eyes, but if you go through the specialized help and give some user feedback to Google, they can change that. Or you can go through the feedback. You have a feedback app.
Yes.
On the and you can go through there and file a feature request or just something that you don't like.
Okay. All right, thank you.
But it only does that when you're using Explore by Touch and not when you're swiping through. But yes, as you're using Explore by Touch, you can tell where there's blank space. I think they meant for it to be helpful, but it can be a little annoying.
It is a little annoying indeed. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Kevin. Anybody else have a question, comment?
This is Michelle.
Yes, Michelle.
Hi, I wanted to find out, the gentleman Hershey, he just gave information about another resource, but I didn't catch the name of the resource he gave.
Hear the name of the Blind Android Users podcast. There's a podcast. There's also a YouTube channel. Blind Android Users.
Thank you so much. That's what I needed. Thanks.
And they have a website. They have a podcast that's in just about every podcatcher. And they have the YouTube. And the good thing about the YouTube is that they have the long podcast that's very thorough, but then they break out different segments of the podcast so you can listen to different sections, and they cover different topics.
Okay, that's perfect. Thank you again.
All right.
Anybody else? Or Sandhya, you had a question?
I had a question. Real quick. Anybody having does anybody use the Ring doorbell? I had a Ring doorbell Pro, and I have hooked it up, and I mean I think what it is it's the whole process of setting it up, and it was working fine, and now it's stopped working, and I've tried to troubleshoot with these people. And so the bottom line is, it's like like when you have set up other Amazon devices, you have to first get it on the little Amazon network or the temporary network, and then you log on to your personal home network. And for whatever reason, it's not hooking up to that temporary network. And so now they're like, oh, well, you need a new one. It's not working. We can't get you into that mode of the setup mode. And anyway, I don't even know if there's anything we can all do, but I'm just letting you know that it's, now it's like a year and a half old. And now they're like, oh, well, we'll give you a discount. But it's kind of a pain in the neck to set everything all up again. So I ordered a new one, but I'm kind of frustrated, very frustrated. But I don't know if it's a comment, just an observation, just letting you know. So
this is Hi, Sonia. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, well, I just got the Ring doorbell, and initially I had to set it up with my Wi-Fi from home. With my Echo device on Alexa, I set it up through my cell phone, but my boyfriend did it because, I can't see to do it myself. If you would email me and I can troubleshoot that for you, because he's pretty good at this stuff, and I can give you an answer to that.
Well, thank you very much. This is
Yeah,
Sonia.
he's pretty good. Yeah, Sonia, this is Cynthia. Do you have my email?
Okay, we'll have to get that after the call, but
Absolutely.
thank
You
you
got
very
it.
much.
Absolutely.
Okay. I think
This
Suva
is
had a
Suva.
comment.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I don't have experience with the Ring. However, I feel like this would be the same process that you would go through with the Skybell. It's another brand of device that are out there. There's pros and cons. You can see the difference. Basically, one you have to pay subscription, the other one you don't. So with the Skybell, I believe what I've done, I had the similar situation where you could not get the device to the sync mode, and even if you put the device into sync mode, you would go to what you were describing. The device would have their own Wi-Fi server, and then you connect to that open Wi-Fi for the device, and then that way you tell the device to go connect to your 2.5 gigahertz connection, usually, or 5 gigahertz. So you can sync it up with their Wi-Fi and everything is good. Now, I was having that issue and I was doing all of that through my iPhone. And what it was doing was that it would go to the sync mode, and then it would try to connect. Like, I would see Skybell on my Wi-Fi settings, and then I choose that. And then after a while, it would just say the sync failed, or it could not get a hold of it. So what I've done is just went to general settings, depending on where you're doing this from, laptop or your iPhone. I would just go ahead and I deleted all of my Wi-Fi network settings. Basically, it forgot all of my Wi-Fi password and everything. So, and basically what I've done is just resetted my phone's settings. I think that's kind of like overkill, but afterwards I was able to sync it just fine, and it was able to connect it okay, no problem. And also I believe that was the step I took, and I don't know if that's gonna work because you were dealing with the Ring. I don't have any experience with Ring. I have experience with Skybell. It's another brand of products.
This is Sandhya. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, this is Foster.
Yes, Foster.
Yeah. It's kind of something across the board, especially when you're dealing with Wi-Fi. Sometimes you have to, you may have to reset the device, like if there's a reset button, you may have to reset it, or sometimes, like the previous gentleman said, you might need to kind of strip all your Wi-Fi stuff and then link everything else back up to it. Sometimes that happens. I have a Eufy doorbell system by Anchor, and I recently had to reset it, but it took me a few times to do it. But what I had to do was I had to delete that particular app off of my phone, my iPad. I had to delete it off the other devices and then come back on one device and set it up. Then I was able to, actually I had to log off. So I take that back. I didn't delete it. I logged off the app on each device and then went back to one device and went through the syncing procedures again, and then it finally synced up. So it's kind of something across the board when you deal with all this Wi-Fi enabled stuff.
This is Shri.
Yes, Shri.
So I do have a Ring doorbell. So I had a couple of questions. First, do you know how to take the Ring doorbell off the wall plate?
Take it off. We've removed the faceplate. This is Sandhya. We removed the faceplate and then we push that restart button, and they tell you to look and see if the thing is spinning like a white light or whatever. So
right. So did it do that? Did you get the spinning white light?
Yeah, it did. And then it went to blinking. And that's when the lady's like, it's not working. You need it. Your device has failed. We did it about 3 times. So
And you held it down for like
20
almost
seconds. Yeah.
No, I probably needed more than that. I think I've held down like a minute till I did get the white light. It should be like a white circle
Mhm.
motion. I mean, I
Mhm.
can't. I used to be able to see it. Now I can't. So I don't know if it's a white light circle or if it's blinking. I don't quite recall.
Okay.
And when you get the blinking light, do you see the Wi-Fi of that on your Wi-Fi or no?
It says, do you want to join this network? And then as soon as you hit it, then it's like, oop, unable to connect. And then you're back in this vicious circle. But
Circle.
I'm going to try to troubleshoot. Yeah.
Are you also connecting to your 2.4 gigahertz on your network?
I don't know which. I mean, I have to go see which one it is. I don't know. I'm going to have a Wi-Fi network. So
Right. I think I'm not sure if the pros supported the 5 gigahertz or not. You have to make sure your Wi-Fi is on 2.4.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, I don't want to take up too much time, but I appreciate everybody's help. So thank you.
Okay. All right.
I do have.
Yes.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
This is Michelle. I do have something I've been struggling with for a few weeks now. The Amazon Lady A no longer reads my emails for me, so I've been trying to watch different videos and look up information on how to get my Google Assistant to read my emails, but I've not been successful with that. And so I wanted to know if anyone knows of an app that needs to be installed. I followed everything that's been recommended, but nothing seems to work to get it to read my emails. Got to know.
All right. Anybody has a suggestion?
Do you want the Alexa? This is Kevin. Do you want Alexa to read them or the phone?
Well, Alexa was reading it, but then a few months back, Amazon sent us notification that that was no longer going to be an option due to something with privacy. So she no longer does it. So I recently started trying to see if my Google Assistant that I have on my phone can do it. When I look up things, it says yes, she can, because it reads my text messages when I tell it to. But when I try installing or using the settings that they say, nothing works. So I didn't know if anyone else had a recommendation.
Do you have, which phone do you have?
Samsung Galaxy A32.
So your best solution to get your emails read is going to be to set up and use Bixby. That is the only program that is going to. Now there are apps that you can download. Most of them are not free. That will read your emails for you, but the assistant does not. It will read them as you're sending them. If you compose an email, it will read it back
Read
to
my
you.
email.
But it's not reading. It won't
Read
read
my
them. It'll
email.
just pull them up. It'll just pull them up for you.
Okay. So I'm hearing Bixby, and then I heard read my email.
Yeah. So if you hold down the side button or power key or whatever, you have to have your Bixby already set up. And a lot of people just don't use Bixby. They'll just use the assistant. So you have to make sure your Bixby is set up, and you have to be using the Samsung email app.
Okay. And
Jerry,
okay.
Yes, Jerry.
earlier you guys talk about blind Android users. So I went in my vector stream and typed in blind Android user, and I got the blind Android user podcast on the vector stream.
All right, that's good. Okay, anybody else has a question or a comment or any suggestions from Michelle?
And this is Sri.
Yes, Sheree.
Just a question. Do you need to have that skill in the app, on the Amazon app, for it to read the emails?
I'm sorry, I don't understand your question.
This is Sri. I'm not exactly sure I'm giving you a right answer. I'm just asking the question. Typically with Amazon, you need to put a skill in on the app. And I'm just wondering, did you try putting the email skill in that?
Yes.
You did.
Yes, sir. It was initially when I first got her, I did that, and she was doing great. And then I received an email saying that they were going to stop that service due to some privacy laws. I called them, and I waited like a month to call them and say, hey, are we going to get it back? And they were like, no, due to some privacy laws or whatever, we're no longer offering that service through Lady A. And it kind of baffled me a little bit because I was like, what privacy laws? If I'm having my emails read to me, I either I'm alone or, people that I trust are around me or, something like that. I'm not out in public, so I didn't quite understand that part, being that it was a service that they had been offering for such a long time.
This is Sri.
Yes.
I'm going to be kind of speculating here. It might be from the back end, the privacy, not the front end, but maybe there's some back end privacy issue that they couldn't follow the guidelines, and maybe that's what they had to stop.
Okay. Well, let me tell you, it's been very frustrating because that was one feature that I used every day, several times a day, and now it's difficult.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
This is Kevin.
Look
At an app in the Play Store called Shouter. I'm not sure if you can do it with the free one, but I believe the advanced version, which is like $4 and some change, will read anything you want it to read. And it has lots of settings, like you can tell it to read the emails as they come in, or you can, tell it when to read them. And like I said, there's some other apps in the Play Store that are specifically for reading emails. One thing that you can do is use Outlook. Outlook has a read my mail, but I think it will only read the emails if you have a headset connected. There's some kind of privacy thing going on with email. I guess that's why Gmail or Google has never activated it on the assistant side.
But
even with
Bixby
but Bixby will. Bixby is a little tricky because you have to say, well, she'll ask you which email you want her to read, and so you'll have to take it on. But you can say, read all my emails from Facebook, and she'll do just that. Or you can say, read all my emails from Kevin, and she'll read all the emails from that. So she'll do that without any further prompting.
Okay.
But if you just say, read my emails, she won't go through like they will your text messages.
Oh, okay. And one last question, is that something I find within the Play Store?
Shouter
No,
and
no, Shouter, but Bixby?
no, Bixby is on your phone. If you have the A32,
Yes, sir.
if you hold down your power key, it'll probably say set up Bixby or welcome to Bixby or something like that. But uh, I think it's on just, it should be on the A32. They may have only put it on the A52 and up, but if you hold down your side key or whatever they're calling it now, it should bring up a screen for Bixby so that you can set it up and install it. And you can use your Google credentials to set up a Samsung account, because you have to set up a Samsung account. And you'll have to set Samsung email as your default email out.
Okay. Thank you. And thank you, Sri, as well, for your information. I appreciate it.
All right, thank y'all. Is there any other questions, comments, suggestions?
Yeah, this is Foster.
Yes, Foster.
So Kevin, on the when you use Bixby to check when you use the Samsung email to check email, you can easily set it to check your Gmail, Outlook, Yahoo. It allows easy
you
setup
can
for
add,
that.
yes, you can add any account that you want. And usually, because you're signed in, usually your Gmail will be there automatically, but it gives you an opportunity to add other accounts to it as well.
Okay.
But the Outlook is worth taking a look at, and it has a thing called to play my email that you can just say, with the app open, you can say, hey Cortana, or Cortana, yeah, hey Cortana, play my emails, and she'll just go through and read them. But like I said, I think they still have the requirement that you have to have a wired or Bluetooth headset plugged in. I'm not sure.
This is Foster.
Yes,
Yeah, you
Foster.
have to have a headset in for to read your emails.
Okay. All right, thank y'all.
Hi, this is Cynthia. I have a question.
Yes, Cynthia.
Because I'm in so many different advocating groups and I'm always on Zoom. However, I keep my iPad charging, and even as we speak right now, it's on 20%. Is that because I'm on Zoom all the time, or like why is it not charging? It's the Generation 8 iPad.
This is Foster. It's just the regular iPad. It's not a Pro. It's just the regular one.
I believe it's a regular one because it was given to me by one of my advocating committees.
No. You might try, and I know this is not Android related, but what you might try doing is using they have the Apple fast charger that uses
I
the
use that.
USB-C.
I'm literally on it from like 10 in the morning till, like you see right now, I'm still on Zoom. And when I'm off of it, Foster, it starts charging regularly.
Yeah. Well, Zoom uses up a lot of your
even if it's charging.
Yeah, it uses a lot of your video and audio. So yeah, that may be the reason for it.
Oh, I thought it was something I was doing wrong.
Okay, well, everybody just remember, we only talk about Android here.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Okay. Oh, no. It's a good question, but yes, because sometimes that happens with Galaxy tablets as well. If you're using an app or one that uses a lot, it does take time. When you put it on the charger, it may not be fully charging, but it's running off of the electricity. So that's why you're able to stay on there. But I've had that problem with my tablet as well, and as well as with my, what's that other little tablet I have? My Amazon Fire tablet. You know, when I'm on Zoom, then yeah, I have to have it plugged up, or else I use a lot of the battery. Okay. And was it Sherry?
Sure.
Cynthia. Oh, sorry.
Okay. Well, no, I know Cynthia, but Sherry had a comment or question.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you could definitely call us on Monday's buzz call, but generally speaking with electronics, when you're charging and using it at the same time, most likely it's going to charge at a very low rate because it's being used. So if it's staying right now at 20% and staying at 20%, it's probably letting you know, it's holding charge, but it's also using charge. So thus it's kind of staying in that state.
Thanks, Sri. But even with my Android tablet and phone, it does the same thing.
Yeah.
But to me, it looked like it's draining the battery as opposed to charging it.
This is free. That's why I was saying to you, if it's staying at 20%, whether it's your Android phone, when you're using it, if it's staying at 20%, that means the charge and the usage are just kind of balancing out and keeping the charge at that rate. Now, if it's going like 20%, 18%, 16% and going down, that's something else. But if it's holding the same percentage while you're using the device, it just means that the amount of charge it's using is being used by while it's charging also. If that makes sense.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions, comments? Anything new going on, happening? Okay. So, all right. So,
Dale?
yes, Dale.
I had an interesting thing happen to me a couple of times again on my Pixel 6 that I haven't had happen on other Android phones. And I don't know what I did, but somehow Outback, I keep calling it Outback, Talkback, Talkback would speak in a different language. It switched once to Spanish and it switched once to German. And I'm certain that I didn't do it intentionally. And it seemed to be, as far as I could tell, just kind of at random. Has anyone seen this in other phones? Maybe this is something, another something for the Google feedback line.
Okay.
I just had to turn off TalkBack and then turn it on again, and it came back to English, but I don't know how it flipped originally.
So what's happening is that the quick menu, as I call it, but I guess they call it the reading menu. But what's happening is that what people are doing is they're inadvertently swiping up or swiping down, and it's on language. When you swipe to the left or right with 3 fingers, one of the things in there is spoken language, and I always remove it because you're maybe, I don't know if you have your orientation locked, but if you don't and you make a flick one way and it thinks that you're making it another way, but just anything you do, you can just drag your finger around just picking up your phone. And if it's set on spoken language, it's going to switch to one of your other installed languages.
So would I look in under gestures and turn one of them off?
So you go to customize reading menu.
Mm-hmm.
and go down to where it says spoken language and uncheck that box so it won't show up in your quick menu or reading menu when you're swiping to the left or right with 3 fingers.
Custom reading.
So it says customize reading menu under the talkback settings. Tap once with 3 fingers and then go over to talkback settings and then go over to customize reading menu and take what you don't want in your menu out and check what you want to add. If there's something that you're not seeing, like hide screen or whatever. That's not in there by default, but if you want to be able to darken your screen and turn it back on at will, then you can add it in the customized reading menu.
Excellent. Thank you very much. This makes the whole evening worthwhile. It was making me a little crazy. Thank you.
Okay.
Hi, this is Cynthia again. I have a question.
Yes, Cynthia.
So with the Android, I initially had Google Assistants, and one day all of a sudden Google Assistant vanished, and now I have Bixby Assistant. Did that replace Google, or was some kind of upgrade that took Google Assistants off?
No, this is Kevin. You still have both. I don't know. How did you discover Bixby?
Well, a few years ago, I had the VR before my vision loss, where you can watch the videos and put your phone plugged into it. So Bixby was a part of that.
But if you say, "Hey Google,"
she don't answer.
Whatever. Okay, so you just have to go into. Here it goes. But you just have to go into your settings and retrain your
Miss Google
and retrain your voice model. So my speakers and everything were going off. But you just have to go back into the assistant settings. You might have to get someone to link up with you and walk you through it, but you just need to go retrain your voice model. That thing where they have you say hey and okay a few times and all that, and then it'll work again.
Okay, thank you.
Kevin, this is Nancy Younger. I got in here late because I was on the CSUN call. It's kind of a waste of my time because talking shop. I have a question. I'm going to be on the call Monday. The Real Sam Pocket, have you familiar with that? I understand that I'm going to be on the call, but I understand that it's a phone, just $1,400 Samsung phone. You cannot put apps on there. It doesn't make sense to me. Do you know a little bit about this phone? It's an Android. I don't know
what is it called.
It's called a Real Sam Pocket phone. It's just being distributed in the United States, I guess, next month. And they're doing a tech talk. Al Lumley is doing tech talk about it on Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern. 8 p.m. Eastern. But from what my friend told me, I left a message with the person that they may have a couple apps, but you can't even put your own apps on that. By that kind of price, I find that a little bit hard to. They put their software on a Samsung phone. I'm the one with the stylus Moto 5G, which I'm doing. I'm working on it, But I just find that a little bit strange. I mean, can they put their software on the regular Samsung software, as an adjunct to it? I don't understand why they would. I'm going to try to ask them a question on Monday, but I don't understand why they would do that. Why this company would do that.
This is Sri.
Yes, Sheree.
So I did listen to a podcast on that, and the whole purpose behind that particular phone is everything is voice activated. And the reason that they don't have as many apps is because they're only putting the apps that completely works with all voice commands. It's because everything is voice driven, and it's limited by what they felt that an end user really needs. They're not built for people who are social media people. It's just for basic functionality that they figured out is really needed. That's why you don't have all these apps, because a lot of these apps are not voice activated, and this particular device is completely voice activated. Every command is voice activated.
can't they get Google to go on the Play Store and do something different and have the voice activate? Oh, please, and walk you through the way to put this app on the phone. I don't understand that. I wonder why they can't do that.
This is this is from.
Yeah, sure.
This is, I think this company's, it's an independent company building its own physical device, and their market is for people, they're not looking for the high-end users. They're looking for users that just want certain functionality that can be fully accessed through voice.
Wow,
Hey,
I
this
can't
is
even use it
this
for
is Hershey.
Ira. Yes, hi.
Hi. So what the SAM company is totally different, but the name is going to throw everybody for a loop. SAM is, I believe, based out of UK originally, and what I think the intent was is read books out loud and to partner up with Bard and other agencies as such that you could basically rewind and say, play the next sentence, play the next paragraph, the next page, go to page whatever, and it's all done through your voice. Now, Android is a open platform, so anyone with any device, such as Samsung tablets, VR headsets, like the Patriot, for example, is a device based off of Android. The Iris Vision is based off of Android. The name whatever device is based mainly off of Android. And this is the part that makes it difficult because we don't get to have those devices. We have to pay a premium of $1,400 to upwards of $3,000. And so don't always mistake in the namesake for what it is this people recognize it. So it's called Sam. And so that's why you recognize it as, oh, is this Samsung? Oh, it's a Samsung tablet. And this is gonna, just, I don't like the way that they released it with the namesake, but it is what it is. And as other devices and applications, you'll definitely find, voice driven, like the Louis voice and Google voice for as far as speech is controlled for the phone. So those are your few choices there.
Wow, that's a shame. Okay. Sounded good, except for, and then when it was real high traffic, you hear it might be hard to even hear the voice, when there's a place where, you only use your voice, I think
Right.
I thought they would have put buttons on it or something. Yeah, go on. I'm sorry.
It's a technology just to be used, and again, if they have the community to drive it, then it'll become a thing that we use. If it doesn't, then our feedback is what is controlled with this device and manufacturing of things. So, we have to have our voices out there. And one place I always give out the website is g.co/disability support. And that's for if you have anything to deal with Samsung or Google. If you just want to have someone help you, you could use either Be My Eyes to connect via video to get some assistance. You could give them an email or a phone call, email, and such. So that's definitely some good resources just to have at the back of your pocketbook kind of thing. And again, Samsung has a $1,400 phone. It's called the S22 Ultra. It is a 1 terabyte phone with 12 gigs of RAM. And yeah, you kind of stop at that point. Okay, $1,400. I don't get that money, man. But we do got to remember every phone has Android. Pixel phone that Dale has, and I've actually been to Rochester, Minnesota recently. So Owatonna is where I was, and so yeah, it's just interesting to note that there are different manufacturers doing different things, but just note that it's not always what you might find through these conventions. And next thought or concern, please.
This is Foster.
Go ahead, Foster.
Yeah. The one pro of Android, since it is open source, is that people can, if you come up with an idea, you can target a niche market. So every phone that you see come out, it may not be designed for people with disabilities. A lot of people are starting to I'm not gonna say a lot, but there are some people that are switching away from full-fledged smartphones and are going to kind of like a basic smartphone with using the what's it called, the Android Go, because it does a few little social media things, and then it does your text messages and email, so Android gives the opportunity for you to kind of finagle it. Google has that open source, so you can kind of finagle it and do different things with it. But just keep in mind that everything that comes out is not for people with disabilities.
This is Kevin. Unfortunately, Nancy, this is just the way it goes. Even though Android is free and open source, but anytime things are introduced in the blindness community, I don't know about other disability communities, but that's the difference between getting a mainstream product and turning on talkback and getting something that's made just for a particular market. They're always going to charge more. People probably still don't understand why JAWS is $900 or why note takers are $6,000, but that's just, the ones that run Android cost the same amount as the ones that are running proprietary software. So even though the
small market, I guess.
system is free, so that's that's how they justify it. But that's I'm not surprised that. But if you wanted something like that phone that is a little bit a lot cheaper, you could go for something like the Blind Shell Classic 2.
I have that already. I have that already. I paid $100 less because I had the first awful one. This one's fantastic, the second one. And I had that Moto 5G thing I'm working with. I got a free phone from my carrier because they didn't accept the the Smart Vision 2, which I could put apps on. Now, I love that phone. People bash it a lot, but I love that phone. But it wasn't the latest and the greatest, but I could do just about anything on that phone. There was an actual physical keypad on it too. There are buttons on that I could actually. I really loved it, but just the whole thing made me sick. So, but I have little dots I actually got from MaxiAids. I put on the Moto 5G, and they helped quite a bit. That they had the person at the store that helped me quite a bit. Put some dots on the home key, and not dot on the home key, and a few other parts of the phone. It's kind of neat. And I even have VoxMate on it, so I'm learning it, but not. I'm struggling, but I'm struggling with it. But it's okay. I'll learn it. I just have to apply myself. That's all.
Between something like VoxMate and Louis Voice Control, you can really get the same experience that you were describing with that other phone on your phone. It takes some doing, but with VoxMate, you basically have everything right there in one app, and then with Louis Voice Control, there's so much that you can do without even touching your phone.
Right, but there's no voice. I don't think there's any. What do you call that? You can't get your voicemail or your voicemail on that. I don't think. I don't know. I haven't tried it well enough to know. You can't get your phone messages on it, as far as I know. I could be wrong. I'm going to write to them. See, I have
You can't get your phone messages on VoxMate,
I don't think so.
But you can get Louis Voice Control to read them for you.
Oh, can I put that on there as well as VoxMate and Google and Assist? Can I put Louis? Can I put that on there? Louis Voice on there? Can I put that on there as well? Have 3 different things like that on there? I don't know. Okay. I'll listen to this phone Monday, but I just find it a little bit disappointing. But that's the way it goes. It is what it is,
This is
there'd be
Sherry.
I know you guys did a demo on Louis Voice, so I don't recall how long ago it was, but that was probably something she can check out to see how it works. He did do some demo of how you can send and receive features on the phone using Louis Voice.
Yeah, and that's something that this is Kevin. That's something that Michelle might. I think that she was the one that was looking for some. That's something you might look into for reading your voice, your emails as well. Louis Voice Control.
Louis.
Hey,
But
this is
what's the
Hershey.
next word after Louis?
Louis
Voice control.
Voice control.
Okay, Louis voice control. And is that
And
something in the App Store?
that is
Yes.
in the Play Store.
Okay.
It would not be on the
Louis.
App Store. Would not be on your Apple device. It would be on Android devices.
Oh no, I don't have any Apple devices, and I'm sorry I keep
Okay.
saying App
Just to
Store.
clarify.
It's actually a
No
Play
worries.
Store.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
Louis.
voice control.
It's Louis Voice,
Okay.
right? And it does quite a bit. I've heard of it, you know.
right.
Okay.
And
Louis
for
voice.
the
Cool.
purpose of not being able to read, there is a restriction. Apple's kind of set the precedence with privacy issues, so they've called I guess what you find on the back of your milk carton, a nutrition label, so to speak. So it's a privacy label, and so since they have to abide by these, Google, Facebook, so on, and Microsoft, they've all pretty much started prevent you to hear stuff until you hook up headphones because of the privacy issue there. But
Okay.
any other questions, concerns, and if anything, can I just ask you if you guys could give me a little hand here? Can you let me see here 1 second. Little button here, button over there.
Hershey, you're a little difficult to hear.
Play Store, headphones, home, find device. Can you hear that? Home.
You're really soft.
YT music, home. Okay, can you hear that? Find device.
Yeah, you sound better right now.
Okay, sorry about that. But do you guys hear a screen reader in the background? Play Store, headphones, vocalizer voice.
Yes.
Soft.
Headphones. Okay. All right. And any questions, concerns?
This is Michelle. One last question. On the Louis, how is that spelled?
Just find your voice input button and say Louis voice blind.
Okay,
I think it's LOUI.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
IE, I think.
This is Sri.
Yes, sure.
Also, if you do go to YouTube and search for it, you'll also find it there. They've done some demos that I've listened to there also. See if you want to see how it works.
Got it. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for your assistance.
This is Sri. I've got a question.
Yes, sure.
So when you guys put bump dots on your screen, does it affect like the touching? Like, does the screen still recognize when you touch the bump dot? Like, does it recognize there's something underneath it? And what I mean by that, does like TalkBack like tell you what it is? And if so, how is it recognizing your fingerprint on the screen if there's something covering it? That's just a curiosity question.
This is Hershey. I have actually seen layovers with Braille on iPhones before. I'm not too certain on Android devices, but you would have, a static image or a thing you could kind of go back to maybe find your home back recents button, perhaps. Typically, with the modern phones, everything's gesture based, so not a lot of people tend to float to that, but that could have been a thing.
This is Kevin.
Kevin.
In some ways, if it's the right type of bump dots, like the little bitty ones that we have for keyboards where I work, it probably would just seem like a screen protector. So it probably would pick up your finger touches. And if there was a problem, you could go in and put your phone on the glove mode or whatever it is.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions, concerns, thoughts?
This is
Kevin,
Michelle.
go ahead, Michelle.
I'm sorry. Oh, I just heard a couple of people referring to training on Monday about another phone. Is this particular call done like every week to talk about different Androids?
On Android, Insight is held every third Wednesday of every month. And then every Monday we have a iOS driven call called the Buzz and iBug Buzz call. And so
Okay.
if you look on our website, ibugtoday.org, you could find everything that's upcoming during the week. And then, for future reference in the sense of every month, the Android Insight is every third Wednesday. And then always feel
Okay.
free to reach out via the website and social media such as Facebook, facebook.com/groups/slash iBug today.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And any other questions, concerns, thoughts, tips? Maybe Kevin, you might, I think, had a tip squared away somewhere, back pocket somewhere.
Oh. Kevin, are you ready to demonstrate?
Yes.
All right. Well, Kevin is going to do a demonstration from us. So I will turn it over to Kevin.
Okay. So I'm just going to briefly go over some of the voice commands available through TalkBack and then on the Pixel 6. So I have hold on a minute. I have to always test this out. I don't really know because I have this set to a gesture. But anyway, so the voice commands is to the left and up or something like that. Oh no, okay, it's to the right and up. So recent is to left. But I have this set to 4, tapping twice with 4 fingers.
Hey, so Kevin, I had a quick
Okay,
question
so
for you.
yes.
Can you hear this?
Yeah, I can hear it. It's kind of low, but I can hear.
Okay, it's
Payphone.
low. I'll let you continue and let's see if I could get it up for you.
Okay. So I'm just going to dictate some text here. That's going to be the first thing that I do with the voice command. So you swipe to the right and up, but you can also go into customize gestures and assign one of the gestures that is unassigned or one of the ones that you don't think that you would be using, multi-finger gestures to the voice command option. Type. Today is Wednesday, period. I am having a great day, period. How are you, period.
It is Wednesday. I am having a great day. How are you? End of view. Showing.
Okay, so that's just dictating. So you have to say the word type. So not on the Fire tablets and other things, you can just, do a kind of a dictate command, double tap and hold with 2 fingers or whatever it is. But on here, you have to say the word type. Now that I have this text in here, I can do different things. So one thing that I can do is select all, or I can copy, I can cut, I can delete. So I'm going to double tap with 4 fingers again. Select.
Selection mode on.
So this turns on the selection mode. So normally to get the selection mode on so that I can select by word or character or whatever, I would have to double tap and hold with 2 fingers. But this way I can just double tap with 4 fingers or swipe to the right and up and give it the command to to select. So now that my selection cursor is on, I can move through the words. Now, if I wanted to select something that was a little further back, I would wait to turn on my selection cursor, but I'm just going to select from where I am. So I'm going to change my selection or my granularity to words. And I'm going to press my volume down key.
U selected. R selected. Al selected. Day selected. 78.
And then I'm going to, and then instead of actually hitting the delete key, which I can do, it's easily accessible, I'm going to tell, or instead of doing the copy command, I'm going to tell use my voice commands to copy the text.
More features open.
Copy.
Copied. Day, how are you? Showing recently copied.
So that copies the text. Now I'm going to press enter a couple of times.
Day, how are you? Space deleted. New line.
Paste.
Not editable.
Oh,
Today's button. Today's
all these notifications keep coming in, so it took me out of my edit field. Paste.
Pasted. Day, how are you?
So this is the talkback voice commands. I can tap once with 3 fingers and flick over to the right until I get to voice commands. I can swipe to the right and up, gesture to open up voice commands, and I can also just whatever command I have. So I have mine set to double tap with 4 fingers, but you can change yours to whatever you want yours to be. You can also do finds. So if you're looking for the send button or the search or the next or the previous, you can say find next, find update. There's about 25 commands. It might have, the list of commands might have grown since the beginning, but you can say delete, you can say select all. There's lots of different commands, but you just have to remember to say the word type, and you don't have to give it that much of a pause, because if you do, it'll close the microphone. So when you say the word type, you want to just go straight into it, and it's intelligent enough to know not to include the word type. So that's the voice command that's built in. And there's a list of the commands that you can get into in the talkback setting.
Messages, 0 notification. Sent to Jonathan.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. Now, this one I'm still kind of learning. I'm not as good at on this part. So these are the ones that are built into the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro. I have the 6 Pro. And so I'm just getting used to these, but the one of the best things about this is that the suggestions that come up and the automatic punctuation that it puts in without you having to say period or comma, and it's really, really, really intelligent. And if you correct it, it starts to learn the way that you speak or what you do, and it won't put a question mark in there next time if you don't like for it to put a question mark when you say certain things. But so I'm going to dictate some text again. And the thing that I'm going to do is that without closing the keyboard or reading it back or whatever, it's going to tell me what my options are based on what I'm doing, what it sees on the screen. So if I was in the Walmart app and I was looking for grapes or whatever, once I say the word grapes, it's going to say search, clear, or some other option that's on the screen. So it looks at the screen before it gives you options. It doesn't say send when I'm on the Walmart app or something like that. So I'm just going to dictate.
Capital 0. Assistant voice typing. Listening.
Hello, comma, today. Oh, I didn't want to say comma.
Voice typing. Explore. Hello.
Clear this.
Showing English. US. QWERTY. Keyboard. Board. Delete.
I'm so used to doing this because I don't have this on my Samsung phone.
Capital.
Okay.
0. Assistant voice typing. Listening.
Hello, today is Wednesday. I am on my way, but I might be running a few minutes late. Save me a seat.
Suggested commands. Send. Clear.
So send. Send.
Voice typing stopped. Sending message. Messages. Assistant voice typing.
So there it goes. So it gave me the option of clear. Now, if I had said clear, it would, in that context, it would have cleared the last sentence. So if you say clear, it clears the last sentence. You have to say clear all before it clears everything that's there. You could also, I'm not sure if you can do this yet, but you're supposed to be able to say things like delete the word today or whatever. Now, this is based on someone visually looking at the words that they're saying popping up on the screen. So some of this requires you to kind of like tap into that area and make edits, but you can do certain things like delete the last word. You just say the word delete. Clear. So just the clear and the send were not my only options there. Those were just the most used options in that situation. And so that's how the exclusive dictation works as far as it being in an edit field. If I was in an email, it would give me the same options. It would say clear or send. But if I'm on the Amazon app, shopping app, and I, say that I'm looking for men's shoes, then it's going to say search, or, whatever the options are there. So those are the two kind of options in the other. There's a lot of other functions and stuff to the new Google Assistant dictation. I just haven't used them a whole lot. Because I've been using the voice command more. So I just got used to that one, and then they introduced this other thing. So kind of have the best of both worlds.
Thank you for that, Kevin. Anybody got any questions with all the explanation? I know there's a lot to digest there.
Screen off.
9:19 p.m. YouTube notification. Samsung Galaxy A73 surprise.
All right. Well, Kevin, for you specifically, question for that audience get to know: what do you like better, Samsung or Pixel, when it comes to the flexibility of things? We mentioned earlier somebody had the Pixel launcher, and we were talking about that earlier. So, between the two companies, what do you like better?
Now that TalkBack runs on both, and it's basically the same version, I don't know. There's some slight differences because of one UI. I like the Google experience a little bit better, but there's also some things on the Samsung side that I appreciate. It just depends. Like I love Google Lookout to be able to, do labels and read things and all that. But Bixby Vision is built, right into for accessibility. Bixby Vision for accessibility is not talked about a lot, but it's built right into the OS. So, everybody gets it. You don't have to download anything. which anybody can download, look out to, and that's still my favorite. But it is, I like the fact that you can do the NFC labels, kind of like a pin friend right on your phone. That's built into any Samsung phone, whether it costs $100 or $2,000. So there's advantages to both.
Thank you for that. So it is interesting. Amongst the features that I found, I actually ended up getting S22 Ultra, and the voice control of typing and dictating is definitely a feature that we've all been longing for. So hopefully Samsung gets things on its way. A little bit of feedback on how I approached the phone. I didn't look at any commercials. I didn't look at any YouTube. I barely looked at the event, and the next day went to Best Buy, grabbed it on a month-to-month basis anyway, because my Note 9 is aged as it is, and soon people will need to get new phones. And I talked to a Best Buy rep recently, so just to kind of give everyone a heads up from the last month call, it is probably better to get a phone that is 5G capable, like the A32 as mentioned, and that's what they are. That's why they're selling those kind of phones, because they are also trying to dissolve the 4G towers. And I don't know how much of it is true. T-Mobile is going in it a little bit faster. AT&T and T and Verizon are not doing it till like next year or thereafter. So when it comes to phones, every new phone is going to be just fine. If you have old phones, you might want to consider something new. But my Note 9 is still running like a champion in my house. It runs my light bulbs and music and podcasts just like it never skipped a beat. And so it's a quick band-aid pull, as it were. Um, my contacts synced in. I didn't even notice that I had to push anything extra. I did not transfer my old apps from my old phone. I went straight to the new phone, and I'm building it because I feel that every phone should be at least built from the ground up to the way you like it. And you might have had old apps that might clog up a couple settings here and there. So um, just a little tidbit on my end. And if anyone has any questions or concerns or thoughts, I would be happy to answer.
Yes, because we're winding down to the end of our call. We got about 6 minutes left, so we can take at least one more question, comment.
Hi, this is Cynthia.
Yes, Cynthia.
My device, is charging, but I'm on 10%. So before it cuts off on you guys, I just want to say thank you. You always do such a wonderful, wonderful presentation with the questions and answers, and I thank you all. I learned a lot. I'm
Thank
gonna
you,
say goodnight
Cynthia.
before my device died. Now it went down to 9%. Oh my God. I'm on Zoom all day. I'm sorry, guys. I appreciate you. Have a
We
blessed
No
night.
problem, Cynthia.
we appreciate you, Cynthia.
And Sandra, I don't appreciate you calling me a troublemaker, but I love you. Have a good night. I'll see you guys
I
next time.
Okay.
You too. And
Thank
by
you.
the way, Ava, just a quickie. Do you even let's see where to go. Here's my phone. Do you hear that much?
I hear it, but it is really fast
Okay,
and
it's really
low
fast.
and
Oh,
low.
it's low. Okay. I mean, they just a little teaser for everybody because I think we got this pretty much set here. I just didn't want to
Mm-hmm.
blow everyone's ears out. But we will have talkback live on air. You could ask us questions and we could go through stuff. So stay tuned for our future episodes. And again, ibugtoday.com or .org works just as well. Go to our YouTube channel and Facebook again, facebook.com/groups/ibugtoday. And
Yes, and
Ava, any new news, toys, any bits from you?
no, I have no new toys yet. I'm still looking for something new to play with. So, I see uh
You could unmute
Restoria?
if you wanted. If you wanted to
Yeah.
talk, just go
Would
ahead and unmute.
Yeah.
would you repeat the YouTube site for me, please?
If you just go to YouTube and search iBUG today,
Oh, okay.
iBUG today, you should be able to find us just right there. I don't recall the link, so I don't want to give you an exact link at this point. But I do recall a Facebook link, and so feel free to even reach us out by email during the weeks that we're not on air, and we'll be happy to get you any information, questions answered. We always want to keep the community talking, so we look forward to hearing your feedbacks too.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so we are going to go ahead and wrap it up. Just so y'all remember, we appreciate y'all because this is our Android community. So just remember our next meeting will be April 20th, the third Wednesday in April. So if you haven't joined us on our iBug list, please sign up. Please, even if you have something you want to post, please post any questions, any comments, and just be looking forward to, anything we find new coming out, we will be posting it. So
I agree, Ava. It felt like it was just last week. We did the show last month, but then the show's ended?
yeah.
Oh, man. I was just getting
So
started. All right. Well, next time, and I appreciate all you for the great questions and thoughts, and welcome to the new members. Really, really appreciate you guys stopping by and taking the time, and each enjoy the convention as you are.
yeah, and we want to thank ACB.
Thank you, ACB. Cheers.
Okay.